Hello everyone. I welcome you all to this live session by Great Learning. And today we will be doing something new. So normally our channel is associated with courses or tutorials related to technology. But since technology is not the only thing which will get you a job, you would need a lot of other things as well. So today we will be talking a bit about logical reasoning. And whenever you're appearing for any of the exams or any of the competitive exams, logical reasoning is very, very important. And understanding that, we have decided to come up with a live session on the very same topic. So we'll be looking at some of the common questions which are asked in some of the competitive exams or some of the exams where you have to get a job, and we'll be doing exactly that today. And now, before we actually start off, I'd like to inform you folks more about this amazing platform called as Great Learning Academy. So what you see right now on your screen is a free learning initiative by Great Learning, and this free learning initiative is called as Great Learning Academy. And over here, you will have access to multiple courses. So as you see over here, you have access to courses related to data science, ML, AI, IT, cloud, and a lot more. And the best part is whenever you complete any of these courses, you will get a course completion certificate. And you can take that certificate, add it onto your resume or onto your LinkedIn page, and that will be a huge value add to you folks. And also, let's just say if you do not have your laptop or your system with you right now, well, we also have the Great Learning app. So you can just go ahead to the Play Store and download the Great Learning app over there, and you can learn all of these courses at the comfort of your home and also at the comfort of your phone. Right? All you have to do is download the app and you can learn all of these courses at the palm, from your palm, as simple as that. Now, also I see that there's a watching of 30 and we've got only 6 likes. So if all of you could quickly hit the like button, that would be amazing. Right, let's just quickly hit 30 likes in the next 2 minutes. That would be great. And to all of the folks who are new to our channel, I'd request you to subscribe to our channel and also hit on the bell icon. So if you subscribe to our channel, that would encourage us a lot to come up with more such live sessions on a regular basis. And also, if you hit the like button, that will, it will work in such a way that this video or this live session is recommended to more people, and more people can join this session, and they can they can upskill themselves as well, or they can improve their expertise with respect to logical reasoning. So on that note, let me just head to the chat and see if everything is proper. Supriya, hello to you as well. So also just give me a quick confirmation if you guys can hear me and if you can see my screen properly. So I see on the chat that I can see myself properly. Just let me also know if you can hear me. Just give me a quick confirmation. If everything is proper, just give me a quick yes. Right. So in the meanwhile, what I'll do is I will start my presentation over here. And I'm just waiting for a confirmation from you folks. Supriya says it's clear. Ankita says yes. Okay, awesome. So it's time to start off with today's session. And also today's session would only be for half an hour. So we'll not waste much of time today, and we'll see how much can we cover in this particular session. So there is one type of question which is normally asked in the logical section. So let's say if you're appearing for tests such as GRE or GMAT, especially in GRE, you have this section called as essay writing. So there you have the argumentative essay. And in the argument essay, you are basically given a statement and you are supposed to find out the flaws in the statement and write an essay. Why do you think that the argument is flawed? So here we are obviously not going to write an essay, but we are just going to understand what are some flaws which are generally given in these sort of statements. So this is our first question. I'll just guide you through this question. And in the next question, I'll give you some time to answer this or to work around that question by yourselves. So over here, the question goes like this. So there's a company Y and it has switched to a 4-day work week mandating that employees work 10 hours per day from Monday to Thursday. Right? So the context is this. You have a company whose name is Y, and they have switched to a 4-day work week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And the company suggests that the employees work 10 hours on these 4 days instead of working for 8 hours from Monday to Friday. And now what the company claims is this policy is new, but this policy will help to increase the profits by shutting down the offices on Fridays and also boost employee morale by reducing commute time to and from work each week. So here, what the company basically claims is, since we have reduced the number of work days from 5 to 4, this will improve the employee morale and this will also increase in the number of sales. Right? So this is an argument and this is a suggestion given by the company. Now, we are supposed to find out what are the flaws in this argument. So this is a generic argument. I hope all of you understand this argument properly. Just give me a quick confirmation if you can understand this argument, right? And once you understand this argument, try to find out what are the flaws. So here the company states that if we reduce the work days from 5 days to 4 days and increase the working hours from 8 hours to 10 hours, then employees will be more productive and will generate more profits because employees are more productive. And also the company states that it will reduce the commute time for employees. Now you guys have to tell me what is the flaw in this argument. So what I'll do is, I'll probably wait for a minute. Let me actually turn off my screen for this minute and I'll let you do this calculation. So I'll let you think for around a minute and I'll go ahead and answer this in a minute. So folks, here you guys have to put in the effort. Right? I'll be guiding you through, but even you have to start thinking and you would have to, since this is logical reasoning, you would have to use your logic as well. You would have to use your brains as well. So I believe I have given you enough time to find out the flaws over here. So as my friend Ram would say, I have brought up my beautiful face again over here. So now that you can see my beautiful face again, what we'll do is we will look at some of the flaws, right? Now, the company states that if we reduce the number of working days, the employee morale would increase. But now that you're working for only 4 days a week, but you're working for 10 hours. Now, if you're working for 10 hours at a stretch, wouldn't that actually burn you out, right? So you're working 4 days continuously. Now, what is the guarantee that this does not actually burn out the employee and employees are actually less productive, right? So this is actually flawed. So this reasoning is flawed and there is a very good chance that the employees would burn out. Now there is another faulty reasoning over here. Now the company states that if we reduce the number of working days to 4, company will generate profits. Well, now even if the first argument is true, where let's say the employee morale is increased and the employees are more productive from Monday to Thursday. Okay. So let's just assume that the employees are more productive from Monday to Thursday, but what about a Friday? Now it's not all of the companies, which shut down on a Friday. So universally, all of the companies work on a Friday, and if you have any deliverables on Friday, or if you have any client or any customers who are waiting on your end on a Friday, well, that could incur a significant loss to your company. So this again is a faulty reasoning that reducing the number of work days to 4, will generate in profits. Now also it is stated over here that this will reduce the commute time of all of the employees. So here we do not have anything in concrete. Now there could also be a scenario where all of the employees are living nearby the office. So let's say if all of the employees are living nearby 1 kilometer radius of the office, then the commute time doesn't really make sense, isn't it? Right now, let's say if let's say the employees would stay far away, and this is something which could help. But let's say if employees all near they live nearby, then this doesn't affect at all. And also, what you're doing over here is you're making all of the employees burn out. And also, let's say the employees would want to spend some quality time with their family or with their kids, or they would just want to go out with their friends and relax after work hours, and you're not giving that opportunity over here. So these are some flaws which are found in this argument. So now this is how you are going to find out some flaws in an argument. Now again, where is this important? So let's say if you are giving exams such as GMAT or GRE, you are giving an argument and you are supposed to find out the flaws in the argument, and you are supposed to write an essay on this. In GRE especially, there is something called as argumentative essay. And what you're supposed to do over there is you are supposed to list down all of the flaws, and you're supposed to explain or elaborate these flaws in a proper way. Right now, here what I've done is I've written down 3 assumptions which have been made by the company, and I'll elaborate these 3 assumptions, and after this I'll write down a conclusion. So this is how an argumentative essay is written. Now, since I've explained the first one to you, I want you guys to do the second one. So we have the second essay over here. Now we have the city called as Gotham, where our beloved Batman lives. And it just seems that the city council of Gotham has proposed reducing the city's electric expenses by switching all the lights in public buildings from incandescent bulbs to LEDs. So what basically the council is suggesting is, so they might have normal bulbs, and they are suggesting replacing all of these normal bulbs with LEDs, which are basically light emitting diodes. And now what city council states is this switch would be made gradually as the old incandescent bulbs burn out. Right? So whenever one incandescent bulb, or whenever the old incandescent bulb burns out or it goes away, right, that is when they are replaced by the new ones. And the city council also reasons that the LED lights burn brighter. Now, since the LED lights burn brighter, the city council states that they are more efficient, and also since the cost to purchase the incandescent bulbs and the LEDs is same. Since the cost is same, the council states that the switch would actually help Gotham to save money on electrical costs in the future. So here, in entirety or in sum, what the council is stating is, if we switch from incandescent bulbs to LEDs, the electricity charges would reduce in the future. And now here, this reasoning is based on certain assumptions. Now we are supposed to find out all of those assumptions. Again, I'll give you guys a minute, and in that minute you can go through this argument, read it again, and put down your reasoning, and let me know why do you think this reasoning is faulty. So again, I'll go back and I will remove out my beautiful face from over here. Folks, I don't really see any answers from your side. This session is supposed to be very interactive, and I would expect answers from your side, which I'm not getting at all. Why do you think this argument is faulty? Again, I don't really see any answers. So seems like I'd have to explain this again, right? So let me get my face up over here and let me show the presentation again. And now the first argument over here is what they've given over here is cost of purchase. If you read this properly, what this argument states is the LED bulbs cost no more to purchase than the incandescent bulbs, which would mean that the cost to purchase these LEDs and normal bulbs is same, but there is nothing given to us about the cost of usage. It could very might be possible that the cost of usage of LEDs is higher than the cost of usage of the normal bulbs. So if that is true, now if it is found out that the cost of usage of LEDs is higher than the cost of usage of normal bulbs, then the reasoning of this argument is flawed and the city council would actually incur losses if they switch it. Similarly, there could also be a case that the LEDs, the lifetime of the LEDs is actually shorter than the lifetime of your incandescent bulbs. Now, if that is the case, you'd have to keep replacing these LEDs again and again, which again is more cost. It would again incur more cost to the city council. So this is also, so let's say if this is also found out to be true, that the LEDs do not last longer, then this could be a problem to the city council again. Now also there has been nothing given about how the switch can happen, right? So the system which is in place for all of the normal bulbs, can I directly remove those bulbs and set up my LEDs over there? So is the wiring or is the system which is required for the LED bulbs same as for incandescent bulbs? And if it is not the case, then again there would be additional cost for replacement as well. And if you include this additional cost for replacement, well, your costs again increase, right? So this again is a problem over here. Ambika is saying anything that burns brighter is expected to consume more energy and cost more. That is a great reasoning, Ambika, right? So this is not actually listed over here, but as Ambika states, if something actually is more brighter, then it would consume more energy. And since it consumes more energy, there could be, it could be very well possible that it also is more, it also incurs more cost. Nanika says cost of using LEDs more. Yes, that is absolutely right. But then again, we don't have anything concrete to say. Now, if you're making an argument, you have to corroborate your argument with substantial proof. Now, if you are not able to corroborate your argument, then the reasoning is flawed. Nanika says cost of labor. Well, that could also be the reason. So let's say if we could remove all of the LEDs which are present, all of the incandescent bulbs which are present, now someone has to manually remove those bulbs. It cannot be automated. Now the cost of labor, if also that is included, well, then it would seem that the council would again incur more losses. Thomas says the switch may not necessarily help to save money because the lifespan of both incandescent and LED bulb were not specified. Yes, absolutely right. So I believe you guys have got the gist of how to approach an argument and how to find out the flaws over here. So this is one of the type of logical reasoning which you'll find in most of the competitive exams. And now that was logical reasoning where we had to go through an argument. Now let's just do some reasoning with respect to maths. And now you might be thinking this is logical reasoning, why are we doing math? The answer is simple. Now you guys should be able to give this answer without using a pen and a pencil, right? This is very simple question. All you have to do is use your brain. So I'll just read out the question for you folks. While driving from city A to city B, the average speed of the car was 50 miles per hour. And while returning, the average speed was 60 miles per hour. What do you think is the average speed of the car throughout the trip? And now you have your 4 options over here. I'd want to know what do you guys think. So there is a very obvious answer, which I think most of you would give, but that obvious answer would be mostly incorrect. So I would want you guys to give the answer. Again, I'll disappear myself and I'd want you guys to give the answer over here. Read this question and I want you guys to give the answer for this. So I'm just waiting for a couple of minutes for you guys to give the answer. Seema says 55. I want others to answer as well. Seema, could you also give the reason why do you think it's 55? Shantilal says 55. Seems like everyone is saying 55. Nayanika says cannot be determined. Zero Rock says C and D. So that is a very interesting answer. So how can the speed be less than 55 and also greater than 55? Priyanka says cannot be determined. Again, let me get my face back up over here. Right. Now, all of you who said 55, why do you think it's 55? Now, this is average speed, but we cannot just do 50 plus 60 by 2. If you do 50 plus 60 by 2, you will get 55, but that is not how you calculate the speed of a car or speed in general, because you would have to know the distance and time as well. The formula for average speed will be total distance traveled upon total time taken. Now again, even if you do not know the formula, just understand this logic properly. Whenever we talk about averages or weighted averages in general, it just so happens that if one quantity or the measure of one quantity is higher, then the influence of that quantity is greater. Now, here it is given. So there is basically city A, city B. The distance from A to B and B to A will be the same. Now, total distance, you have, let's say 2x, and this is the total speed, and we'll have certain time for this. So what is happening over here is from A to B, since the speed is lesser. Now, since A to B, since the speed is less, it would happen that the car would spend more time traveling from A to B. And since the speed is higher when it travels from B to A, it would spend less time in traveling from B to A. Now, since car A spends more time in traveling from A to B, this would mean that the influence of 50 miles per hour is more when compared to 60 miles per hour. And when you take the average speed of this, you will understand or you will realize that the average speed of the total travel or the total distance would be less than 55 miles per hour. So here the logic is, let's say whichever quantity has the greater influence, that would affect your average value. So by default it has to be 55, but it is not 55 because the car is spending most of its time traveling at 50 miles per hour rather than 60 miles per hour. And since more time is spent in traveling at 50 miles per hour, that is why the average speed will be less than 55 miles per hour. So I hope everyone gets this answer. So it's only Pragyan who has answered B. I do not see anyone else giving the correct answer. Seema says just did the average. Well, if you just do the average, that is again incorrect. So I hope everyone understands the logic over here. It has to be less than 55 miles per hour, not greater than, not equal to. And obviously you can determine the average. I mean, you cannot determine the exact value, but you can definitely say whether it's less than 55 or greater than 55 or equal to 55. So just give me a confirmation if you understand this properly. So we also have a similar question. Let's do that question over here, right? And now I want you guys to give the answer to this. So this is similar to the question which we have just solved. So serial X or cereal. I'm not sure how do you pronounce this. It's cereal, isn't it? Yeah, it's cereal X. So cereal X is 55% fiber. Cereal Y is 70% fiber. Now Sheldon combines both to get a mixed cereal that is 65% fiber. Now, what do you think? Whose quantity would be greater, right? Cereal X 55% fiber, cereal Y 70% fiber. Now you mix these two and the combination is 65% fiber. So what do you think would be the answer? Whose quantity is greater, or the quantity is equal, or would you say that it cannot be determined? Again, I'll give you guys a minute to think. Let me again remove myself from over here. Jeet Patel says the answer is B. Pragyan says the answer is B. Sumit says the answer is B. Great. Anyone else has any other answer over here? Zero Rogs again says B. Seems like everyone is convinced that the answer is B this time. Anyone else who thinks that the answer is A or C or D? Well, it doesn't really seem like that now. So to all of you who said that the correct answer would be B, well, all of you are right. Because it is very clear that, well, cereal X has 55%, cereal Y has 70%. Now if you take the average directly, so that's 125 by 2. 125 by 2 would be around 62.5. So here you would see that in the mixed cereal, the fiber percentage is 65%, which is greater than 62.5%. So here you see that the mixed concentration has higher value than what it has to be, what it's supposed to be. So that is why you would understand that greater concentration or greater quantity of cereal Y has been mixed into this. Now on the other hand, let's say if this would be around 60, right? Now if the mixed cereal, if the percentage was around 60% or 58%, then you could say that the quantity of cereal X is greater. So I hope everyone understands the question now. Great. So let's see if we have time for one more question. Yeah, so let's do one more mathematical question over here. So on the left side, we have been given number of days between May 30th, 1917 and May 15, 1996. On the right side, we've been given the number of days between May 15, 1912 and May 30th, 1991. Now, you guys need to tell me which of these is greater. Is the number of days in A greater, or the number of days in B greater, or the number of days is equal in these two? Now, we do not have to do any major calculation over here, right? Look at these two quantities properly. So whenever you appear for any of these examinations, it's more about your observation and it's less about the actual calculation. So here, if you understand this properly, here you would see that the number of years is actually the same. So when you do 96 minus 17, that would give you a quantity, and 91 minus 12, that would also give you a quantity, and you would see that both of the years are same. And now when you understand that the number of years are same in these two quantities, let's compare the number of days. So here the starting date is May 30th and the ending date is May 15th. Here the starting date is May 15th and the ending date is May 30th. So here it would seem that, so May 15th to May 30th, right? So here you clearly see that there are greater number of days. So this starts at a later date, ends at an earlier date. But when you talk about this starts at an earlier date and ends at a later date. So in this, it is very clear that this quantity 2 is greater than quantity 1. So whenever you are appearing for any of these examinations, and whenever you see these maths reasoning questions, do not take your pen directly and start scribbling down on your paper. Observe these questions, understand the question, and then you can save a lot of time, right? You do not have to manually calculate, just observe, find out what the question is asking you, understand the question properly, and then answer. And that would be the best way to do it. So, folks, this would be it from my side. And this was supposed to be only a half an hour session. So, thank you very much. And I'll sign off for today.